Okay, a few things that I forgot to explain in my other videos, which I apologize, but I'm not a videographer or whatever it's called. So it just dawned on me by some of the questions I received that I need to explain a couple things that I don't think I did. So I'm sorry. Okay, so after you do the 6 records or so here, and I put them over here to dry on a towel, right? Like I've shown in my second video. By the way, that's the stuff I make my spindle with the records and all that. So that's what that is. Anyway, so um, what I need to explain is the filtering. I don't think I explained. Now the filtering here, the way it goes through my my filters and then comes back out here. Um, I guess that doesn't look very nice. It looks like I'm doing something bad. Sorry about that. Let's not do that. What I do is I put the thing back in the tank like this, okay? And I usually weigh it down with something kind of like that, okay? So basically then, while the last record group of records of like 6 records is drying with the fan, the last, it's like 20 minutes, right? 15 minutes air dry, and then 5 minutes of the fan on it to get the last little bit of water off, like I said. So during that 20 minutes, what I do is then I run, you open this valve here, right? And then you start the motor, you plug it in over here, and then it starts circulating, see? And goes back into the tank, and that way it recirculates. So with this really big ass motor here, it empties the tank in like a minute. So during the 20 minutes that the last group of records is drying over here, then that runs the water through the tank and the filters probably about 20 times, 15 to 20 times. So you see, by recirculating it and having the water go back into the tank and then back out again like this, really filters the water very thoroughly. And as I explained in my other video, it goes through the 1 micron filter, and then it goes through the 0.35. So it really gets filtered well. So that's what I didn't explain in the other video. So I'm sorry about that, but you need to do that. I would do that each time after you do a group of records. Now, another thing I don't think I explained, I'm not sure because I don't remember, but is I bought this relatively inexpensive total dissolved solids meter from Amazon. It was like under $20, okay? Now, what's good about this is you measure the water and you can keep track of, how dirty it's getting. So when you first do the solution with distilled water, okay, that's important, and then you add your chemistry, the different things that I told on my video, your parts per million should be somewhere between 0 and 2 or 3, okay? Then you clean a group of 6 records, and then while they're drying, you filter the water 15, 20 times for 20 minutes. And then you're ready for the next time. You're all set. You don't take the water out and put it back in. You just leave it there. Because the Ilfiltol is an antibacterial. And if you use enough of the water, like I suggested in the proportions, then it keeps everything in the filters and the hoses and in the tank clean. So that's the thing. That's the thing about the filtering I didn't mention, and I don't think I mentioned about the TDS meter. Now, the TDS meter will also to give you the actual temperature of the water too. So this heater on the iSonic tank takes a long time to heat up. So what I do is I set it on about, I think it's 120 or 122. It's like the third setting up. And I go put my timer on in my room for like 35 minutes. I give it a long time. And then I come back out and I use the TDS meter to check the temperature, okay? So when the temperature gets to be at least over 30 and maybe around 35, then you can turn the heater off and go ahead and do your cleaning and stuff. So it just kind of depends. Don't let it go over 40 degrees Celsius because there it's getting too dangerously close to maybe melting the records or, softening them. So keep it between 30 and 35, and then the actual ultrasonic wave cleaning of it will raise the temperature a little bit. Okay, so I think that's all I left out was basically that. And remember, it is very important to rinse, like I mentioned in the second video. Whether you do each one by hand or whether you use the spindle to turn it in the water or whether you if you're using the iSonic system, which, by the way, don't put 10 records on it. That's too many. Do 6. If you can take those spindles off and run them through the water to rinse it, properly before it dries, then that's fine, because you have to rinse. The chemistry is so strong in here, you have to rinse. And if you're not using a record cleaning machine to vacuum off the distilled rinsed water, then you need to leave it to air dry, until it's dry. And you can use a fan the last few minutes like I do. Do not wipe it with towels or microfiber towels or whatever people tell you to do. Don't do that. After you've rinsed it, don't touch it with anything unless you use a vacuum in a record cleaning machine. That's fine. But otherwise, let them air dry, and that way you won't get stuff on it. Okay, I think that's it. If I think of anything else, I will let you know. Thanks. Bye.